Welcome to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Apple, Spotify, or Google, please leave a 5-star rating. This content is brought to you by Uphold, which makes crypto investing easy. I've been using Uphold since 2017. They have 10 plus million users, 200 plus cryptocurrencies, and they're available in 150 countries. As always, when you're using an exchange, you don't want to leave your crypto on any exchange. You want to withdraw it and self-custody it, put it on a hardware wallet or a self-hosted digital wallet. So Uphold's a great platform to buy and sell and earn, but self-custody your crypto. If you'd like to learn more about Uphold, please visit the link in the description. All right, my friends, the crypto bottom headlines continue. And you may say, what do you mean by bottom headlines? Well, these headlines calling for the demise of crypto, saying crypto's dead. Let's bury it. Let's have a funeral for crypto, right? And just a few days ago, I shared a headline where it said crypto is dead. And now we got one from the Economist where it says crypto's downfall. This is the cover, and it shows meteors and asteroids crashing down to Earth. So these are signals that the bottom is near, my friends. And I say this from experience because I've been through all the bear markets and I saw headlines like this. And yes, it's not fun when you're new to the market and you see things like this, but these are the media narratives, right? In the bear markets, it's the end of the world, things are going to zero, yada, yada. In the bull markets, the price will keep going up forever. Now's the time to buy. But we know that is messaging for the herd, for the sheep, people who are not researched. But once you understand market cycles, you understand you're selling the euphoria, you're selling the top, and you're buying the bottoms. You're buying the fear, the blood on the streets, right? And I hope those of you who are new to the market, and this applies for stocks as well, that you don't follow the media or mainstream headlines and the sensationalism that they put out there. You want to do the opposite of the herd, of the masses, right? That's the dumb money crowd they don't understand market cycles. They don't understand when to buy and when to sell. They follow the herd, like last year in the bull market, people buying Bitcoin at $69,000, right? That it was the wrong time to be buying. They'll go buy Dogecoin when it pumps 1,000% instead of buying it in the bear market. So I hope, this is resonating, guys. It really changed my life when I understood these things, and it allowed me to make money because that is how the big players operate. They don't care about media headlines. They're looking at the charts and how the market cycles have played out. All right, my friends, we got some big XRP news and Ripple news as well. So attorney Jeremy Hogan tweeted out today. He said, Accredify failed to file its amicus brief on behalf of the SEC by the deadline last night. So that leaves the final tally at 14 for Ripple and 1 for the SEC. For you Americans, Ripple scored 2 touchdowns and the SEC got a 1-point safety ? So my friends, you can see the crypto industry and market is rallying behind Ripple because they recognize what is on the line here, and that is we need Ripple to win. And remember, the folks who filed the amicus briefs on behalf of Ripple includes Coinbase, Blockchain Association, the Chamber of Digital Commerce, the Crypto Council, very big names, reputable names, heavy hitters, and the SEC was left with 1. That shows the SEC has no credibility. People don't want to back the SEC. Yeah, you have some of these schmucks who are trying to make a name for themselves, but we see where things are headed, right? We know about the conflicts of interest with Bill Hinman. We know about the way things went about with the XRP lawsuit. It was not handled well by Jay Clayton. He did it on his way out. He was warned by former SEC officials, this will crash the price of XRP, hurting investors, hurting retail investors, and it will bring into question the credibility of the SEC. And of course, all of those things have played out, my friends. And it took a while, but the industry started rallying behind Ripple, realizing Gary Gensler is going after everything. This is not a Ripple or XRP thing. This is a crypto thing. Gary wants to slow down crypto. He does not want it to move as fast as possible because it is disrupting the incumbents. It's taking money out of the incumbents' pockets. The technology is eliminating a lot of middlemen. They don't like that. Of course they do, right? It's like the horse and buggy people fighting the automobile, and the many different analogies I can make, even with the launch of the internet and websites and so forth. There were a lot of phone book companies that didn't like that, and there were a lot of phone companies that didn't like the ability for folks to call over the web and in the internet, right? Because they wouldn't need to go to the old school phone companies anymore. So these things happen. I hope you recognize that. You look throughout history, disruptions happening, the incumbents fight. It just sucks that the incumbents can pay off. They can bribe regulators and politicians to do what they want instead of the regulators doing what's best for the investors and what's best for the future of the world. But what we've seen, they can't stop innovation. The disruption will happen. So this is really great. The SEC taking a loss here. And remember, all of these amicus briefs were approved by the judge, saying the judge said, hey, send them in, bring them in. And that includes the SEC ones, right? But just imagine the judge is sitting there and she's getting 14 for Ripple and 1 for the SEC. So I think you all know, what type of impression that's going to give her. Now, that doesn't mean that Ripple is guaranteed a victory. I'm not trying to paint that picture that, this is a done deal. I personally believe, from the facts and the people I've interviewed, Ripple was going to win this. And I believe they will have to pay a fine, a penalty for the early days of when they sold XRP. But the SEC is going to take a loss here. And that is, XRP today is not a security. Secondary market sales are not a security. And they once again, they're going to take an L here, and it's going to set the precedence for the entire crypto market. Altcoins such as Cardano and Chainlink and Algorand and so on and so forth will be able to use a lot of the defense items that Ripple use against the SEC if the SEC were to go after them. So really great news here, guys. Really great news. And what a big fail by Accredify, right? And I think folks were even roasting the people at Accredify because they were saying the wrong things. The Amicus Brief letter and filing and so forth was all messed up anyway. So it was just like, it was a joke. And just like Gary Gensler is a joke. Now, big news today. Here's the headline. Crypto giant Ripple eyes deals for FTX assets. So Ripple is looking to possibly acquire some of FTX's, their leftovers, right? It's part of the business, and that's a smart business move. And I'm sure it's not just Ripple that's looking to do this, but we're in a bear market. Valuations are down. Obviously, FTX is in a bad place. They filed for bankruptcy, and if you're a company in the crypto market or a competitor, you're going to look to go grab up some of the good things they had, the good technologies, right? Remember, it's not so much the technology that failed, but the people that failed, the people that did nefarious things. So let me give the details. The boss of U.S. crypto giant Ripple is eyeing parts of FTX, the exchange that spectacularly collapsed this month amid allegations of fraud and mismanagement. Brad Garlinghouse, who runs the crypto cross-border payments firm, said he would pick over the carcass of FTX and would be interested in buying the parts that served business customers, as well as its stakes in other companies. There are about 100 companies affiliated with FTX. Garlinghouse said FTX's disgraced founder and former chief executive Sam Bankman-Fried called him on Wednesday before it went bust as he sought to round up investors to rescue his business. He described his mood as chipper despite the dire situation. So it wouldn't surprise me if Ripple went and did this. But of course, they're going to have to go examine the technology, examine the business before they make a decision, right? But I think Brad Garlinghouse in a Twitter space, he said they had like $1 billion in cash reserves. So they have the capital to go out and do this. And they had earlier in the year mentioned they would do something similar with Celsius. Celsius was open to doing that. They would go grab up some of Celsius's business and services and so forth. But it's a long process. It doesn't happen overnight. So we'll probably eventually hear from them, if they decided to do something or not. And these things do take a while. So there was also news this week that Ripple was seeking crypto license in the Republic of Ireland. So Ripple has turned its attention to countries outside the US due to its ongoing lawsuit with the US SEC. Now, Ripple has been doing global expansion for a long time, so I don't think this has anything to do with the lawsuit or not. They've been trying to, put their stake in the ground in different countries and regions around the world because their goal is to have Ripple ODL, which uses XRP, to be adopted in different countries and where there are different currencies, of course, and help improve the flow of money. So, sometimes these headlines are misconstrued and they're positioned in a way as though, the lawsuit is forcing Ripple to go overseas. No, that was their game plan since forever, right? So they're looking to obtain a virtual asset service provider, VASP license, and they already have 2 employees in the jurisdiction. So that's really, really good. The expansion continues here. And, with the SEC going after them and, once again, looking like they're going to take a loss here, the pressure is building on Gary Gensler because the FTX collapse happened under his watch. Sam Bankman-Fried met with Gary Gensler. Even FTX employees met with Gary Gensler. And boy, Tucker Carlson of Fox News. Now, I'm not some big fan of Tucker or anything like that. So, and I'm not trying to be political, but I got to report the facts. He did a great job exposing Gary Gensler and how the FTX debacle happened and the campaign donations that Sam Bankman-Fried gave to Democrats and how that bought him favors. And we know Gary Gensler is a Democratic guy. So he exposed the laundering scheme and what the Democrats have been doing. And once again, I'm not trying to be political here, right? I'm not trying to say, you should be Republican or you should be Democrat. I'm just reporting the facts. You can be whatever you want. I'm not here to tell you about politics, right? But we'll talk about the facts as it relates to crypto. So I highly recommend you guys go watch it. It's too long for me to play here. And there's some really great bits in there. And he clearly calls out Gary Gensler and the hypocrisy and how FTX got the free pass, guys. And speaking of Republicans, U.S. Senator Josh Hawley demands top Democrats and Biden officials release emails regarding FTX, Alameda Research, and Sam Bankman-Fried. So the Republicans, they're about to go see, dig up some dirt here, guys. And look, I don't know if these emails will make the light of day. Just look at the Bill Hinman situation and how hard it was to get his emails. And when you do get some sort of version of it, it's heavily redacted, right? And we obviously haven't seen the entire set of emails. But this is not looking good for Gary Gensler in particular. And we know that, Sam Bankman-Fried was big donor. He was buddies, it looks like, with Maxine Waters. We shared a video yesterday of her blowing him a kiss after a hearing last year. I mean, this is just a mess, man. Unbelievable. But it just goes back to the root of, I love capitalism. I love the United States. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. But we got to fix this legalized bribery of campaign donations, right? You can pay to play, and that's not good. Then people who you elect, who are supposed to represent you and do things on behalf of you, they end up doing different things and more towards their highest donor, right? And that sucks. It's not on behalf of the people. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they don't do anything on behalf of the people, but many times, right, and probably over 50% of the time, they're doing things on behalf of their campaign donors. And here, FTX, clear example, bought his way in, donated heavily to the Democrats, became buddies with regulators while he was running a whole bunch of scam activities, doing a lot of fraud, which obviously that makes the crypto industry look bad. It makes government look bad. It's just a mess all around. Now let's move ahead, guys. So Monday, I don't want to spread FUD, but I also have my radar up here because remember, crypto lender Genesis, which is owned by the Digital Currency Group, they need an emergency loan of $1 billion by Monday. And boy, I hope they get it because I don't want them to collapse. I don't want any crypto company to collapse because it will be very bad for the market. Now, if they're outright doing scams, yes, you want them to be, taken down. But what we don't want right now is collapses. Upon collapses, it'll be really bad for the market. So I'm hoping they get their $1 billion emergency loan because it would not be good, guys. It would be rough. This is connected to the Digital Currency Group. And one of the things that I'm already seeing as a red flag, the Digital Currency Group took down their team page. So it had Barry Silbert and a bunch of other people, and all of a sudden that page is gone. Why all of a sudden is that gone? Something is up, guys. Something is up, and we'll have to wait and see. And once again, I hope it's not bad. I hope they're able to get this sorted out because, again, I don't want the prices to go down, guys. I don't want it to be to a point where, we have another collapse of a big company, and Grayscale is big. Digital Currency Group is huge. So this would be bad, and it would probably bring in more heavy-handed regulations, which is what we don't want. We want balanced regulations. We need to stop the scams, but we need to allow innovation. We need to allow the markets to grow as well. So, guys, that's the news. Let me know what you think, especially about this Amicus Briefs. This Accredify failed to meet the deadline, and Ripple leads here as far as the tally, 14-1. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.